Now it's finally time to add the update post functionality to our application. So let's go and close all of this and go here, and we go to the client, we go to the source, we go to the components, and over here you could see that we have our dash post. But one thing I want to show you is that if we run the application and you go basically to the basic over here, let's just go to the profile, to the post, and you see over here we have some random posts, right? We could now easily delete them, but we want to have the ability to edit the post. So if you click on edit, it goes to the specific post, update post, and you basically have this ID of the post, and you're able to update it accordingly. So we have to create a separate function, and we have to create that accordingly. So we have to go to the pages, not a function, but go to the pages. And over here, since you have a create post, you'll need one called update post. So let's just create one called update post.jsx. Okay. Now, whatever's in create post, almost everything is identical in the update post. Only I have to change this from create to update. Same thing goes from here and here, so right here. Okay, so update post, and then what we want to do is, you can see over here that we have some text. Let's suppose over here, if you go here, so select a category, image upload, all of this, publish. Okay, so in the button we could just say not publish, but we say update. Okay, update post. Okay, and then what we have here is we have the title. I'm trying to find that title. Yeah, so over here we could have update a post. Okay, create a post, update, or say, yeah, update a post. Then we have all of that. Okay, so now you can basically view it. I mean, it's not added right now. You have to go to the app.jsx file, and over here you gotta have to add it in the routes. So you could see over here, remember last time I created a route that was only admin restricted, so only admin private route. Exactly the same thing we want to do over here to create another route, and we'll say one over here we'll have path, which will be equal to, and then we'll have /update hyphen post. Okay, so exactly the same, and then we have the element, and then we have here we have update, so update post, and then we have this. Okay, and basically close it like that. One other thing I want to do is basically import it like that. Okay, everything is good to go. We have our update post, and if we basically go here and click on update post, you can see the update post, right? But now we want the specific ID here specified. Okay, so let's go back to our app.jsx, and remember, if we go here, we want one thing which is pretty common in each post. We have colon post ID. Okay, so now this means even if you go back and suppose, yeah, so if you even visit like this, it should give you the update of post. Okay, now you want the information of this post. You want to get this ID from the use params. You can basically use that, and then call an API that basically could get the post and have everything displayed here. Pretty simple stuff, easy to follow. So what you want to do is you want to go to the update post. Okay, and you want to have a state over here defined. So if I go to the update post, I have this state right here. So let me just quickly add that state. So right here we have this publish error, right, and the form data, and we could use this form data again, but one thing we need is the post ID. So we could have use params to do that. So first of all, we have to import use params. Okay, from React Router DOM. So I go use navigate, and we could use params. Okay, and then we could have this use params declared here. So const right here, const, and then we have post ID. So basically we would say post ID, and then we have equal to use param. Okay, use params, and we have this. Okay, so I essentially have now everything looks good. So now we have the post ID over here, and we could now get that accordingly. Okay, so one thing I wanted to say is that when we're fetching this, we want to have it in a use effect hook. Okay, we want to have it in a use effect hook. So to go in here, we have the okay, so this is inside the update post. You could see that we created our use params, but in there we also want a use selector to get the current user. So we could use import use selector, okay, selector, and then we have from React Redux, and then we're gonna have that initialized here as well. So we have const current user, okay, is equal to, wait, you can basically have it like this. So current user like this, okay. So current user is equal to use selector, and then we have state. Okay, so I want to show you that now this is basically use selector, and then we have state, and then we have state.user. Perfectly done, and everything looks good. We have now this use effect hook. So right here, okay, so we have use effect hook, okay, and then we have this. We have basically this. Okay, now what I want to say is that this use effect hook is right here. Go here. So React use effect, use state from React. Here we're gonna have the essential things that are required. So when you're basically calling this, you want to have the post ID being fetched right from the API, but you can have an asynchronous call over here. What you could do is instead of having async like this, I mean, it could give you an error. You could create a function, asynchronous function in here, and call it within it, so that it doesn't prevent any issue. And this is gonna always call based on the post ID, if it changes or not. I mean, sorry, not if not, but only if it changes. So we put the post ID there, and then we have this try and catch. Okay, in the catch we have a console.log, and then we have error.message. Okay, and if we go to the try, first of all, we're gonna have to fetch. So we could say const fetch function. Okay, this is gonna be the fetch post function, and then we have the asynchronous. Okay, sorry. Then we have asynchronous. Now in here we're gonna have the const response is equal to await. Now in here we could have the fetch. So we could have fetch backticks. Okay, backtick slash API slash user slash post. Okay, slash get post. Okay, get post, and then we have, these are existing APIs. So we have a question. Remember what we created, that custom queries. So we have get post, and we have post ID is equal to the post ID that you're getting from the use params. Okay, I hope that's cleared. And now once we get that post, exact same post from the database through our API, what we could do is we could say first await response.json. Okay, and I could have this in a const data. Okay, so what we could do here is, if response is not okay, response.okay is not good, what you could do is set publish error. So remember this error that we had before, could you still use it, and you could say set publish error to data.message. Okay, we have this state up here. Remember, we're still using that old one, but we also want to have the console.log data.message. Okay, and we also want a return. So once everything is backfiring and you want to return, and then over here would have the if, and then here would have the response.okay. Okay, so now we have set publish error to null if it's all good, and set form data is equal to the data. So this is now one thing I want to actually say is that, look, you basically fetch that. It might give you more than one, but you want the only first one, right? So do that. You could say data.posts, okay, It's going to give you all the posts, and it's going to give you the first one. So you could say, always the first one you want. So the first match, it's always going to give the first match. Okay. So exactly like that. I mean, the form data is populated successfully. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to actually use this form data to modify our states. And if you go to the handle upload image, that's all good. I mean, this is the function right after, and then it's a handle image upload. It's all good. And then we have this handle submit. We have to modify this later on. But right now, what we want to do is we want to go to the class. So you can see over here the text input. You have the on change, which sets the form data, right? But right after that, you want to have another one that has the value. So it basically has the value that needs to be specified. So if we go there, I go here. So I say value is equal to, and then we have form data, and then we have dot title. Okay, the same thing goes for the other text inputs. So we have the select. Over here we could just have the value. So right here we could have value is equal to, and then we have form data dot category. Okay, same thing goes for the, okay, so over here I want to show that the file input doesn't really require anything because we're already accepting, we're getting the first image uploaded, so it's not going to be an issue here. Yeah, so type accept change. So we're all good here. And if we go to the React Quill, which is form data.image, you can see over here, I mean, everything looks good over here, form data.image. It's coming from that. So value is being set here properly. So it's that's why I said it's all good over here in the React Quill. So where you add your content, you could basically place that value, and you could say, so right after this, so you say value is equal to, and then we have form data dot content. Okay, now I think it looks good. I mean, progress looks good. Let's go and view it. So if I refresh, of course there are some issues. So let's go in console. Nothing here. Interesting. Let's go to the post profile update. Okay, nothing here. No changes made because this is basically updating the profile here. Create a post. You could basically create one, but profile, go to the posts, and you can see all your posts right here. You want to basically edit this one, so go here. Okay, so you see update post, and then we have this. This API has to be configured properly. There's an issue here that's not allowing it to call it properly. So form data dot content. Go up here. Okay, use effect. So we're not basically invoking it. Biggest mistake here. So if you see over here, this function is right there, but what you want to do is you want to call this function right here. So when you invoke this, now everything is appearing. Okay. Okay, I want to actually remove this. This is not good at all. And it says over here, a component is changing an uncontrolled input to be controlled. This is likely caused by the, okay, 1 minute. Okay, so I thought each child in a list should have a unique key prop. So this is part of dash post.jsx line number 86. Okay, so over here we have, where are you mapping it from? Dash post, sorry, this is not here. So dash post, where are you? Okay, it's in the components. Dash post, line number 86. Okay, so we have here, it's basically mapping here. So it's just recommended to have like a key. Body, row, key, I don't know. Is it gonna give me suggestions? Right now I think it's okay. Later on we'll do it. but we know that it's basically from there. Cross that out. Okay, all of this is good and it's populating perfectly. Let's go back here once and check other one. So let's suppose this one, random post 2, click on edit, and everything is being populated. This is our random post. Okay, good. So everything is there, looks good. So what we want to do now is essentially have an API call. When we click on this, the submit thing on submit should change. So update post, we have an handle submit. This should be modified so that it now submits it instead of creates this. So that's also very simple and easy to achieve. What you want to do here is, first of all, you go and try, and we have this await fetch /API/post/update post is our API. So then right after that we have the $/. Okay, so now what we want to do is, first of all, we have to create this update post API so that we could actually update it, right now. Okay, sorry, what am I doing? Okay, where? Yeah, so we have create post. Right now what we have to do is create the update post, and we don't have it. So we'll go to the backend. So that's over here in the backend. We go to the routes, and then we go to the post.route.js. Here we're gonna have a route that updates the post. So we could actually go here and say router.post, and then so router.put, not, because this is an update. Okay, so we have /update post, and then we have /post ID that we want to update, right? And then we have the user ID. So you have to understand here, we've got the post, update post, then we got the post ID that you want to update, and the user. So verify if the user is actually allowed to update it, right? And then we have the post controller here. Now we want to add the controller. Again, pretty simple stuff. Go here, and here we could have export const update post. Okay, and then we have async request response is equal to async request response, and next. Over here you could do is have this control space, and now that's imported. Go here. Now you want to add this update post. Also very simple. First you get see if the person is an admin, right? If the request.user is not an admin, or the request.user.id that you were using was not matching the request.params. So essentially it's not matching there in the parameter. So what you could do is return this error handler that you are not authorized to update this post. After that you could have the simple try and catch. For the catch you have the next error. This is how easy it got, right? Because we had created that middleware. Now over here we want to add a const updated post is equal to, we have await post dot find by ID and update. So we have request dot params dot post ID. Okay. So over here we have this, if you look over here properly, we have this post.find. This is now the API call. So we have the updated post. We use the post model, and we say find by ID and update. We get the request.params.post ID passed from the URL. So essentially, and then we're going to have to use the method. Okay. So, in here, we can have the set. So we have the $set. And then we have here some things. So we want to basically set one by one. We don't want to update everything, but title, first of all, this is from the database. So we have request. Now this is from the request dot body dot title. We want to update the title. Okay. We want to update the description. So content request dot body from this request. So dot content. Okay. We want to update the category. Request.body.category, and we want to update the image. So request.body.image. Okay. So now we have all of this out of the way. I mean, this is good. So over here we have new, and then we have true. Okay. So we have here a semicolon. Okay. So what we want to say is that all of this is super easy. It's super set. All of this is super easy and easy to understand. We're trying to just update these 4 different fields accordingly. And when we say new true, that means we return the newest updated version, right? That's why we could now see it through response. We could say response dot status dot 200 always a success dot JSON, and then we have updated post. Perfectly done. This is our format done. So this is basically our API. So now we could use this in our front end. So right here we have it's not here, right here. So you could just remove create post. Now update post has this you basically have to add in now how this is created. So we have update post. It requires 2 things. Remember the post ID and then the user ID. So what you could do is, first of all, make it dynamic by adding backticks. Now you want to have the $, and the first of all, post ID. So where you could get the post ID from? Well, remember that you have this form data, and then from there you could have the ._ID. That's the post. Okay. Same thing goes for the next one, which is $, and then the user post. So basically that's coming from the current user. Remember that use selector? Now it's basically being handy. Now we have the current user ._ID. Okay, we get all these 2 things, and we could now have the method of put. Okay, headers would be the same, body would be the same, and then we'd have data, and then we could say, okay, this is perfect. Set publish error null navigate to post. So it just navigates to the post once it's done, and then something went wrong. So I believe everything looks good. We should be able to see this in action. So if I add if I randomly add like this, a square bracket, and add updated, okay, updated here, just max this out, and update post, okay, it goes to the post random post 2, but if we go back, you can see it's fetching the thing. So this is now updated. Similar to that, you could have the updated tag here. Okay, you could have the image basically changed, so you could use any kind of image you want, upload that image instead of and essentially you could change this to, let's suppose, Next.js. Okay, so now if I update post, if I go back, all of it is being there. And if I go to the profile, because this is random post 2, go to the profile and I go to the post, you'll see it's now on the top because it's the most latest updated, and now you have everything there, which is super awesome. This is amazing. And this is going to be applying for every single thing. Now all of these posts have this update edit functionality. You can basically edit the post here one by one, show more, has ability to show a little bit more, and now you could basically update them accordingly. If you go to the inspect console.log, we have some kind of issues, like over here we have no routes matched location post random post 2. That's a warning. We don't have that created, but we'll create that later on. But other than that, everything looks fantastic.